Hey, so greetings everybody, and today we're going to be working with schematics, right? So Angular schematics, please like, share, and subscribe, and reach out to me in the comment section for any help, tips, and suggestions, right? So basically what I kind of have here is I have a new, right, schematic called template service, right? And if we try to walk it through bit to make a schematic, right, in Angular, right, to give you guys the context, right, we just go ahead and we say npx ngg, right? This is you may not have seen it, but you say npx ngc component or service, but this is our own schematic, right? And right now we're trying to make a service method because they get rid of big. This is actually the code for our service method, right? And what kind of needs to happen is that an entry that this needs to get added to the service. All these methods need to go in its own file, and then an entry, right, needs to get added in our environment.dev specific to this application, right? I also want to check if that file's not there, then it shouldn't do anything, right? But how we've been doing it before is that we've been inserting the snippet and then we're typing things. We don't want to try to do that. So today we're going to try to figure out how we're going to get along with the schematics, right? And just an overview of what we've kind of done so far is that we have our schema.json, right? These are all the command line arguments that the service is going to need, right? They will prime, name, and then service name, right? I'd also need path, so it can help me with finding the service and file path resolution. And then also we have our collection, right? So once we set our schema, we go into our collection.json and we register it. It's going to need a description, a factory function that's going to create that blueprint for the service method, and then this is schema where all the parameters for the command line lie, right? As well as comes with a schema, we kind of use it here, right? So now this is our factory function, which is going to go ahead and cause that blueprint to come up, right? So in here, right, there's a chain, right? So chain is just going to be a list of rules that takes a previous file system, which is your application, and makes it a new file system, and applies modifications to it, right? So basically, a rule, right? A rule is that's what a rule is, right? And now your file system is actually represented in this tree, right? So your project file system, where your root is the project root, it's really like a DOM-like structure, and then we kind of see that we got to grab the file, right? And then we're going to have to read it, right? This is going to be a string, and we got to turn this into a source file so we can actually try to walk through this file, right? As like a DOM, right? So this is the file representation of your project, and then this turns your file into like a DOM so you can iterate through it. It has elements and all that. So if we kind of go through here, right, we're looking for our class, right? In this case, right, it's our contact service, right? So basically we grab the service class name, and then we look through the statements to find that class. Right. So if we kind of see what this looks like, we kind of see what this looks like, and then we try to generate, right? We see our service method, and then we see our kind of class. So what we're doing now is that we need to insert this service method into the class. You kind of get to see that, right? This is the service method that I need to go ahead and insert. So in order to do that, what I need to do is I'm going to need, so basically I'm going to need to grab this value, and I'm going to have to put it after. So we're going to see what that looks like. So of our service, our service class of R, and we're going to say let sys equals service class dot var equals service dot properties. Okay, so basically this is going to be my class, so I'm going to have to say, so it's not going to be properties anymore. It's going to be, I think there's like a statement. There's going to be members dot let, right? So I'm going to get all the properties and functions in the service class. So let text equals service class var get full text, as we kind of saw earlier. It's going to get the full text, as you kind of saw earlier. Then we're going to let the insert position equal service class properties, same numbers, and then that POS. And then we kind of have our service method. So we're going to say if occurrences is greater than 0, right? Then I want to try to indicate that this is not going to be undefined. If it is, then it is going to be a runtime error. I don't want that to be a it's going to start setting up so many rules. So many interesting rules here, right? So if occurrences is greater than 0, basically I want to get the number, right, is going to equal get the actual numbers. I don't want to try to edit this thing. Pop. Save our invitation. And then final service method. I'll call it the string, so we use text equal to the indentation. Right, so it's indentation, and then it's going to be my service method string right here, right? And then I'll say the insert POS equals and oh, class element class number dot end, and then my final is going to be that. I think that's just going to be the final right here. Right, there's going to be no need for commas, right? So there's that. To say let changes, go to change, equals new. It's going to be an insert change here. I gotta grab all these import statements. I gotta import everything now. Now I don't have IntelliSense in here because in this workspace you can't find the node modules. It's actually above it. So I just have to manually import it. If anyone knows of a way to try to get this done where I don't have to think about that, I really appreciate it. So it's going to be final. Right, my target path. So this is going to be my target file path, I believe. I hope. All right, and then I'm going to try to see what that looks like. And now I kind of have a method here. Update file. So I kind of have a method, update file, and what I want to try to do is I want to try to make this a bit generic, right? So I'm gonna make it a folder called utils, and hopefully it doesn't break my component code, and then update file.ts. Let's say export. When I export it, we'll call it WML. Update file. Now I'm just gonna go grab my imports. Alright, so there's gonna be my file. And now I'm gonna try to use it, and then now I'm gonna go ahead and so I say WML update file. This like so, and then hopefully, yep, looks like we just figure it out, right? And now I say return the host. So, pretty risky move that we're going to do here. What I want to try to do is, because I'm actually going to update this file. So let's try to see how this works. So I will say git add. Right, and then this is going to be my checkpoint. So, alright, so it looks like it's data resolved. Alright, so looks like that change has been made. So let's try to see what that looks like. Right, so we kind of have my service method, right? So it looks like it didn't put everything on the same line as expected, but we'll probably handle that out. If anyone knows in the tips, right, how to try to let that work, right, please let me know. Right, so that is this video. So I think in the next video, what we're going to do is that we're going to try to continue that and try to get all these import statements as it's needed here. Right, that should be easier. We're just going to have to find the import statement and then add it in. So thanks for